You to tell a story without using words. So our next guests are here to tell us about a powerful story that's titled Phuma-Langa. Award-winning dancer and choreographer Mamela Nyamza and the dancer Thulani Mgidi joins us in our studios here in Johannesburg to elaborate further on the story about division, of course, and reconciliation. Good morning to both of you, and thank you so much for coming through.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Mamela. Now let's talk about the production's title, Phuma-Langa. Sunrise?
Yeah, sunrise. Yeah, since the production was conceived in Phuma-Langa.
Oh.
You know, many people who don't speak our languages like Xhosa, Tswana, Sotho, they tend to say
Phuma-Langa.
So that was the title, that was the inspiration of actually playing with this word, Phuma-Langa. Of course, we want this light to come, to rise, the sun to rise in South Africa. In spite of all the things that are happening, but in a way, in this way, we are also asking, is it really rising, the sun, or ilanga?
All right, okay. All right, let me just bring you into the conversation, of course, and as I said on my introduction, that it actually talks about reconciliation and the division. Talk to us about that.
When we talk about reconciliation, it is much important for us to reflect on what has happened during the past, and then we try to bring different cultures together so that we can sort of live in a peaceful society, trying to live amongst different cultures and different people who have different morals and views on different issues. Yes.
All right. Okay. Now, one important aspect to learn is the fact that you've worked in many productions prior to this one, of which some are your own productions.
Yes.
How different is this one from the previous ones?
Wow. This production, what I like most about is that it's not like strictly dance production. It's more of a theater performance. So you tell a story in a different way instead of just doing movements only, which are considered to be dance. So this production makes you look at it in a very different eye, so that you don't expect strictly dance, but you have to make sure that you think broader than that.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting. It sounds very interesting. But what message do you want your audiences to take away from this one, Mamela? Let's just test if your microphone is all right.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yes.
Well, I want people to actually go home with many thoughts, because I feel like as a country we're in denial that this country is at war, you know. So I'm playing with all these contradictions in the work, through movement.
I'm afraid, Mamela, it looks like ilanga from your microphone. We're having some issues with your microphone, but of course, let me just continue with you, Thulani.
Yes.
Of course, let's talk about what I asked Mamela about the issue of reconciliation, as I mentioned earlier on. But we know that September is Heritage Month. How important is it that we maintain our language and, of course, our culture?
I can say this, the most important issue in this work, it's about the language and the disappearing of culture and traditions. So with this work, it's very much important to bring our cultures to life as we use some of the cultural movements, or I can say the Ndebele movements, to sort of retrieve whatever we have lost as a nation in terms of culture and tradition. So we're using a lot of cultural references in this work. Yes.
But I know that you've also helped Mamela with some of the basic Ndebele movements and moves. Yes. Tell us about that. How difficult or easy is it for you to transfer the skills, more so movement skills?
Well, you can say it's difficult and easy at the same time. Why I say easy? Because growing up as a Ndebele person, so I was introduced to traditional movements as a kid, and it's difficult because now you have to take whatever it's cultured into theater. You cannot just throw it into theater. You have to find a suitable way so that they can also relate to it, so that they don't feel offended. Like, why are you taking our stuff and showing to the nation just like that? Yeah. Not in an exact traditional way. So you have to find a sort of a smooth way of introducing.
It has to be effortless.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I think
I hope so. You know, my mic is reacting like the country.
It must never. But then, how easy was it for you to adapt to what he was teaching you in terms of Ndebele movements?
Well, as a choreographer, I didn't want to come and impose on dancers. I actually had to ask an Ndebele person like him to kind of show me a bit of Ndebele movement. And then as a choreographer, I actually stretched that movement to become not only Ndebele, to go to other meanings of the movements. Just to actually, you know, in our cultures, movements can go to many meanings. We talk to the ancestors on the floor, and all of us in the South, like South Africa, all our movements are on the basement. It's all about this movement. So in a way, for me to actually bring that was to also talk about the importance of our traditionals and cultures disappearing. And especially that part of Phuma-Langa. The language is disappearing, the culture is disappearing, and the most thing that was interesting for me was the costume. To actually talk about the Ndebele costume. As you know, Esther Mahlangu is actually going around the world showing the art. So for us as well, in South Africa, we need to celebrate that.
And we need to
also,
embrace that.
Yes, to embrace it and not let it actually disappear. So it was actually not only Ndebele as well. All cultures are disappearing, you know?
And I believe that talks to the importance of maintaining our culture and languages as well.
Definitely.
So you're bringing that into your choreography.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right. Now, Thulani, what do you enjoy most about bringing an idea or story, whether it's yours or it's from other cultures?
I can say what I enjoy most is it's the process, because when you're conceiving something, all the things you do before you have the final product, those are the exciting parts, because you play along with many different ideas until you get the finished product. And it's not finished yet until you present it to the people. So you're kind of not sure what's the reaction going to be. But I like the process of creating or playing around with ideas, because it brings out even more what you expected.
Yeah, only the final production will let you know if indeed it's been polished well.
Yes.
But then, Mamela, you also train young dancers. What compelled you to take it to the young generation?
I think it's always good sometimes to give back what you have learnt, because also that can be lost. I mean, right now I give workshops more than teaching young generation, because I don't have my own school.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still working towards that. I mean, with the lack of spaces that we have as dancers in South Africa, this is a huge problem. But what I do right now is to actually go wherever I'm invited to give workshops. I've also been to the Ebulweni Arts Center, where in Phuma-Langa, where I created this work, you know. And thanks to the national lotteries for actually commissioning people like myself to go and create such works, because also without that, I wouldn't be, without those resources, we wouldn't be actually creating works, we wouldn't be teaching the younger generations like Thulani here. So in a way,
younger generation.
He is the younger generation. So in a way, it's good to have that actually going, because without passing the information, that information will be lost too.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, you have it. Phuma-Langa, which is brought to you by the Forgotten Angle Theatre Collaborative, will be on show for the duration of September at the Ebulweni Arts Center in Emakhazeni, in Phuma-Langa. Your home province, of course. All right, let's take a break.
In Joburg.
In Joburg.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I have it in Phuma-Langa.
The
Emakhaya. There you have it. Here in Joburg in Gauteng province. We're taking a break on Morning Love. One more item, and then we say goodbye.